This is it. Oxford University Library. A sculpture of a unicorn. Not quite to my taste. Only one bike. Seems the vacation has started.
What does he mean by that? And who parked this car here? I'm sure that there's going to be ample spaces around this area.
It's locked.
It may be locked, but the window is slightly open. We've already tried to kill someone, so why not indulge in a bit of Grand Theft Auto?
What's going on here? What are you doing to my car?
Me? I didn't do anything.
Well, the car alarm's not in the habit of going off by itself. Here, what's this? Someone's been fiddling with the door handle.
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, I don't see anybody else.
Do you really think I'd break into your car and then just stand around here waiting for you?
All right. I'd better get back to work now.
He seems like a very trusting man. Either that, or he has more important things going on. More important than his car, it seems, as that's liable to get towed.
It's a magnetic barrier. They have them in all libraries.
Well, it seems like we're not allowed upstairs.
An old illustrated book. I bet it's very valuable. An old book. It's bound to be valuable.
Hold on. Why are these people allowed upstairs?
An old book. It's bound to be valuable. An old illustrated book. I bet it's very valuable. Antique reliefs. The library's tradition goes back quite some time.
Well, that's a relief.
An old book written with a quill pen. Looks pretty valuable. Excuse me, I'm looking for a book.
Oh, how nice for you.
Quite. Do you think you could help me?
Help you? Why?
Because I've never been here before.
There's always a first time, young man. I'm sure you will manage.
Perhaps, but I'm sure it would be a lot easier if you just helped me, young lady.
I suppose you think you're highly amusing. I'm very busy, and I'm not being paid for teaching people how to use a library.
This person is a librarian, so surely part of their job is helping us to find a book?
What are you sitting here for if you won't even help me?
I'm sitting here to make sure no books are stolen. I can't do people's research for them as well.
We're not asking for help with research.
Do many books get stolen?
Of course, lots. And the thieves are getting more and more resourceful.
Don't you have a security system?
Yes, we do. The trouble is, it only reports a theft. Someone has to catch the thief and confront him, don't they?
True. And that someone is you?
Naturally. And believe me, I can be very unpleasant to deal with.
Oh, I believe you. I'll see what I can do by myself then.
You do that.
They don't seem to be sorted by author.
I'm guessing that they're sorted by title.
Which one? The Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. At least 10 copies.
I believe that we're looking for the Celtic Orthographic Systems book. So surely we should look where the C's are.
They don't seem to be sorted by author. Which one?
Okay, so it's going to be a bit more complicated than this. Ah. Yeah, I think we are going to need some help. Oh, no, wrong way. Yeah, that hitbox is not good.
I don't want to borrow this book.
Then why did we pick it up? Well, I know why. This is why.
I say, stop right there!
What's the matter?
Don't you dare act the innocent. You're trying to steal that book.
Who, me? Steal a book? Madam, I'm a detective.
They're always the worst. Anyway, I can see it. If you want to borrow a book, be good enough to come over to my desk first.
Oh, this one? There must be some mistake. I was lost in thought, you see. It must have slipped into my pocket.
Don't you lie to me. Just how often do you think I've heard that one? Now put the book back, and be grateful that I'm not having you thrown out.
Nope.
You again. Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could I? Look, I'd really appreciate your helping me.
You repeat yourself, young man.
I thought it was your job to give people like me information.
Don't think you can tell me what my job is.
It was an obvious question.
Look, young man, my job is to answer questions the computer can't answer. Have you asked the computer yet?
Actually, I'm no expert on computers.
That, I'm afraid, is not my problem. We have special courses that teach people how to use the computer.
When do they take place?
At the beginning of every semester.
But I can't possibly wait that long. I've come here all the way from London.
In that case, I suggest you make the most of your stay here and teach yourself how to use the computer.
I'll see what I can do by myself then.
You do that.
Alright, let's go and find this computer, which I'm sure will be down this direction here. There we go.
The cataloguing computer. Excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not disturbing you. What are you doing?
Eh? Studying. Can't you see?
What's your research all about? Hello?
What in heaven's name is it?
What is your research all about?
What are you shouting for, young man? Don't you know you're expected to keep your voice down in a library? I'm studying the principle of chaos in the scriptures. I need these results to support my theory.
You're planning a big publication?
Yes, I am. That'll teach my rivals. The Hastings principle will go down in history. I'm working on volume 14 at the moment.
Of how many?
32.
Couldn't I help you with your research?
No, that's not possible. The subject is simply far too complex. I don't even quite understand what results my research may lead to myself yet.
So you're not going to let me use the computer?
No, I'm sorry. I can't. My work is extremely urgent. Why don't you take a look in the card index box?
But I'll never find anything in there.
Whatever. I need this computer, and that is that.
All right then, Professor. I've got work to do.
Good. Make yourself useful. Carpe diem, I always say.
Indeed. We know that the professor here is concerned about people touching his car, and we know that whenever anyone takes a book without it being authorized by the librarian first, then the alarm goes off. So we're going to slip this book into his pocket. And now we're going to go and mess with his car again.
Professor Hastings, what are you doing?
Who? Me? Nothing. I must be off to my car. My alarm just went off.
Professor, what's that book you're carrying?
Book? I don't have a book. Please don't joke now, Mrs. Owen. I have to see to my car.
What's this then?
But how the devil? That's impossible. I didn't take this book.
Then how did it get there?
There must be some mistake. A very regrettable mistake, Mrs. Owen. I assure you...
I like your nerve, Professor Hastings. You steal a book and then try to deny the whole thing ever happened. I'm very disappointed in you.
Mrs. Owen, you've known me for 20 years now. You ought to know that I'd never...
All I know is that I'm going to have to put this on record. Please come along over here to the issuing counter, Professor. You will have to fill in a form.
There we go. I'm not sure whether I feel bad for the professor or not. He was hogging the computer, but he was there first as well. I don't think we can actually speak to them. No. Alright, so we're looking for the Celtic Orthographic Systems book. Or as Halligan calls it, Old Celtic Alphabets. "48 3 CB." That's rather helpful, because none of these alcoves are numbered. They're all exactly the same apart from having the alphabet above them right here. I'm not going to mess around. Let's go straight to where we need to be. I mean, it would be helpful if these were numbered. I believe it's this side. I believe it's this shelf up here as well. Alright, it's this shelf, but it still worked.
That's the book I was supposed to get for Blake. The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield. Hello, Professor. Still busy? I thought maybe you'd been thrown out by now.
Hang on, nearly finished.
It's pointless. He's in a world of his own.
Yet we can't speak to the professor any further.
You again. Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could I? Look, I'd really appreciate your helping me.
You repeat yourself, young man.
Hold on, we did find the book.
Well, why don't I just go and have a word with your employer?
Professor Owen, if you like, go ahead. But I can give him a message for you, if you prefer. He's my husband.
Your husband's a very lucky man, madam.
Trying flattery now, are you? Young man, I'm well past that age. Go and look for your book. And when you found it, I may let you borrow it.
How very generous of you, madam.
Isn't it just?
I'll see what I can do by myself, then.
You do that.
Mrs. Owen is on a real power trip today.
Here, madam. I found the book I was looking for. I'd like to borrow it.
This one?
Yes? Is there something wrong with it?
You bet there is. This is our reference copy.
What's that supposed to mean?
I can't lend it to you. You will have to read it here.
You can't be serious, surely. I need this book. I have to take it to someone.
You heard me.
Couldn't you make an exception?
We don't do exceptions. Have you any idea how many reference copies we have had stolen?
9.
Do you at least have a copying machine?
No. Why don't you copy the pages you need by hand?
Madam, I've told you the book's not for me. I wouldn't know which pages are important, and I can hardly copy the whole book by hand.
That's
Not your problem, right?
right.
I thought as much. All right, forget it.
Okay, so Mrs. Owen will not let us remove this book from the library, but there are plenty of these books just here. Let's do the old switcheroo.
The cover of this history book is a perfect fit for the book I want to borrow. Right, I've finished here. I found a different book that interests me. I assume you'll let me borrow this one.
We'll see. What have we here? Let me see. Oh, the Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. Yes, you may borrow this one. And just think, I've actually read this one. What a coincidence. A brilliant piece of work. Very vivid and never gets boring. You know, I wanted to be a historian, and Roman coins were my special field. But then I met my husband here at the university. He was working on his doctoral thesis at the time, and, well, you know how it is. I could discuss Roman coins for hours.
Madam? This is all highly interesting, but I do really want to borrow this book.
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. Here you go.
Thank you for the book and your great help.
Oh, I do hope you're not angry with me. If there's any way I can help you, please, don't hesitate to tell me.
Not for the moment, thank you. I really must be off now.
Naturally, naturally. See you soon.
See you soon.
Oh, the young man who's so keen on Roman history. Well, how did you like the book? Isn't it wonderful?
How long's the lending period?
Oh, 4 weeks. Ample time to browse through the book.
4 weeks. Good.
Do you like it?
Very much. Sorry, madam, I've just discovered I'm running out of time. I must be going.
Always on the go. I see. Well, goodbye then.
Goodbye, madam.
All right, we are done here. Oh. When did Miss Turner get back?
Hello, Mr. Blake.
Mr. Halligan, have you got the book?
Here you are. Here's the book you asked for.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Halligan. Well, did you have any difficulties with Mrs. Owen at the issuing counter?
None I couldn't handle.
Good. I'll get to work at once. Oh, by the way, Mr. Halligan, Miss Turner called about an hour ago. She's worried about you because you haven't been in touch for such a long time.
Did she say that?
Yes. She said she needs to speak to you urgently.
Do you mind if I use your phone?
No need. I asked her to come out here and join me. She should be arriving any minute now.
She's already here.
How long will the translation take?
Oh, not long, I hope. The book will be a great help. You'd better just wait here for a moment.
I'll just take a look around then, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Be my guest.
All right. Time to look around.
Mr. Halligan, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Well, I had to get Mr. Blake this book.
That took rather a long time. I've been phoning around asking for you.
You've been trying to get hold of me?
Yes. I also went to Scotland Yard and spoke to your chief. He's a bit cross with you.
Cross with me? Why, what have I done now?
Lord Sinclair's planning to bring charges against you for burglary.
What? I don't believe it. That old devil Sinclair seems to feel he's pretty safe, doesn't he?
It looks that way. It seems he has very influential friends in the police force. Whatever, your chief asked me to tell you that you're suspended, effective immediately. Oh, and the next time you come to the office, he expects you to give him a comprehensive report in writing.
What? He can't be serious. Don't tell me he's handing the case back to that thick-headed, big-mouth Lowry.
I wouldn't know. All he said was that he expects you to hand the file to him as soon as you get back to the yard.
I certainly will not. This business is just too important to let go. I don't care what the chief says. I'm going to carry this case through on my own.
What's going on out there?
What is it? What's happening?
Leave me! Get out of the danger zone! Here, take the parchment and go! Come along, Mr. Blake. Let's get out of here!
You get out of here. I'll follow you.
Get out of here! Quickly, run!
I believe you have something of mine, Mr. Halligan. I shall give you until sunset to give my property back to me.
Oh, God! Mr. Blake! I have to go back and get him out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go. It's pointless. You can't help him anymore. He's dead.
Yeah, You're right. Oh my God, what an inferno. Let's get out of here, Melanie. Otherwise we'll be next.
Where can we go? To Scotland Yard?
No, that's not a good idea. The Chief Inspector's waiting for me there. We'd only lose time. And Sinclair is getting more and more powerful with each new murder.
So what can we do?
You heard what Mr. Blake said. Sinclair has the power to complete the ritual. No matter what we do, for the time being, nobody can stop him.
Then we're lost.
No, Melanie. We have one chance left.
What do you mean?
We have to go to 12 bridges. We have to try to move the Gate of the Worlds. If we want to stop Sinclair, we have to stop those who gave him his power 1,000 years ago.
You believe in that Gate of the Worlds thing? It's just a myth, a fairy tale.
The question is not whether I believe in it, Melanie. The question is whether we have any other options.
You're right. Come on then.